Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for joining in. This side Rahul Magan. I am showing this video on behalf of Treasury Consulting LLP. This video is second with respect to the we discussed earlier, which is foreign currency non-resident bonds. This is redemption window. As we very well understand that every second day there is a lot of stuff which is coming up in the media about the redemption of the foreign currency non-resident bond, and there's a lot of criticism also which is happening of the Reserve Bank of India, and especially that they're not hedged the way they should be hedged, or they have taken the money of approximately $26 billion which they're supposed to pay. In fact, a lot of ministerial officials have also raised their objections about the redemption window of foreign currency non-resident bonds. But nonetheless, only time will tell how the things would move on. This is Rahul Magan here. I am acting as a founder of Treasury Consulting LLP, which is a limited liability partnership firm incorporated in India. We are having 6 business domain: publication, trainings, management consulting, software domain, and we are launching the first of kind K-commerce as well. Now, in this video, we are going to demonstrate you something very beautiful that like in the earlier videos we showed how RBI took the money. In this we have created a kind of scenario that how RBI is going to redeem this. So assuming today is October 2016, when Reserve Bank of India needs to pay the money. So one thing which I need to update to all the viewers who are watching this video is that Reserve Bank of India to pay $26 billion, and that in 2 tranches, which is 4 plus 18 plus something. So it is 4 plus something, which is 4 plus 22 approximately. So it is not that they need to shell out the money at one instance, at one tranche, and they hedged accordingly. According to a lot of reports that somewhere in 2014 and 15 they hedged the entire amount in the form of the forward contract, and currently there is no volatility in the market. But unfortunately, this is all theoretical. We already understand that Reserve Bank of INR is trading above 67.20, and one economic shock and things are moved. Japanese into a big trouble. We saw the Brexit. We saw a lot of stuff about that. So this is something which needs to be considered, and that is what we are going to talk about in this video as well. So now it is October 2016. Rather, I should be pretty precise. It should be any time between October to December 2016. So what did happen? You have the underlying investors who want their dollar back. Now, whom they had given the dollar? It's onshore banks. What do you mean by onshore banks? Onshore banks are the banks, those who are in India. Example, Punjab National Bank, Union Bank of India, Canara Bank, HDFC and respective others. Now, they are also known as NATs. In India, in foreign exchange market, they are also known as NATs. Now, they will give their dollar back to analyze. It's their responsibility. And again, to remind that the period they which raised is 3-year to 5-year period. Now, what had happened? They are going to get this money from RBI because they given this RBI. But let me stress again that they have given this money to RBI in the form of principal only swap, which is the interest rate derivative. Now, if they have given this in the form of the interest rate derivative, now how they are going to move? How they are going to take care of that? Now, what would happen is they will give INR back and they will get the respective dollar. So, how principal only swap work? Suppose you was having a $1 million, which you converted in 68, which is approximately 6.8 crores. You will give 6.8 crores and you will get your 1 million back, plus you need to pay some interest. Generally 99.99% this interest is swap annualized premium. Those who are not aware about this technical topic, what do you mean by swap annualized premium is this? It is a forward premium, right? But RBI make it concessionary, so they said to is 3.5%. Some economists will suggest that POS at the rate of 3.5% should have been reduced to at the rate 2%, because ultimately this is going to hit here, the balance sheets of the INR. This 3.5% return to be payable by the banks, and they need to earn that because they accumulated this dollar from the bank. Considering the fact that banks are having huge non-performing assets, they have short of cash, it would be next to impossible for them to have to pay the interest. This may lead to shortfall in the books of the banks. Now, what did happen is RBI already has this position from onshore banks who already hedge with exporters. Exporters, in the earlier video we have taken few examples: TCS, Infosys, Capgemini, Cognizant, Genpact, Accenture, Sapient and others. Now these exporters are susceptible to some issue. Like take a very simple example, Brexit. We all know that after Brexit, all the companies who are working in Britain, they need to have an alternate office in the European Union. So previously what used to happen, they're going to have one office in London which is going to serve the entire European Union, but now London is not a part of the European Union. They're going to have an alternate office in that regards. In that sense, it's a cost. We heard about European Union exit. We also heard about the issue which Europe is facing, the threat on the euro, and not to mention that October 2016, when this window would expire, at the same time yuan would join the SDR league, and once yuan is going to join the SDR league, it's going to be a very tough challenge for Reserve Bank of India to manage, because the market would surely see a volatility, very surely would see a volatility. Now how the things would work? In that sense, you are not only susceptible to economic shocks, but you are also susceptible to a slowdown or a fake numbers. Like Subbarao, which he said that Indian economy, RBI is always susceptible to fake numbers when it comes to inflation, and monetary policy is fully dependent upon that fake numbers. In that regards, if exporters do not turn up, or they will roll over their position, or they cancel their position. If they roll over position, then that is fine. If they cancel their position, then things would be worst for Indian banking system. Then onshore bank will immediately have to end up, which is open market operations. Now in open market operations is of two types, you understand. If you buy dollars, you need to sterilize. If you sell dollars, you need to sterilize. I'm not sure that how Reserve Bank of India is going to work, in the sense like how Reserve Bank of India is going to work, whether they will go for full sterilization mode or they will go for a half sterilization mode, but nonetheless they have to go for a sterilization. Now this would create a panic in the market. INR is already trading at 67.20, and it may go to 68 as well, from where it would be out of control from Reserve Bank of India, and we can have a panic buying. And you all understand, when the panic buying starts, things would be haywire. We should not forget that current government in May 2015 started at 58, and today we are at almost 67.20, roughly approximately 9.5 rupees or so. Now the purpose of the video is to let you know that although RBI did manage to mitigate the volatility of the Indian rupee in September 2013 by doing FCNR swap, but this is a kind of time bomb. I'm not saying that Reserve Bank of India was fundamentally incorrect. They were fundamentally correct, but nobody is able to forecast what is going to happen in the future. Like nobody never envisaged that few years ago that there would be a Brexit, and when Britain would out of the European Union and vice versa. And nobody is going to envisage and say that yes, Scotland would come out of the London and is going to be an independent nation. Although already Scottish referendum has been happened. So these shocks nobody can foresee. Still few months to go. The kind of economic environment we are in, it is highly uncertain. So we don't know how the things would move. Henceforth, in that regards, the entire onus is on exporters. If they are going to cancel their positions, these NATs will not get the money. If they don't get the money, RBI will not get the money, and ultimately impact would be here. And if they roll over their position, then they have to go for open market operation, the NATs. So in both the situation, NATs or onshore banks or nationalized banks are always to the hills, because their first priority is the market which should not face the volatility. But again, we should not forget that we are having a new governor in place. By that time, who knows what would happen, what would be the cut in the repo rate, how the things would move. We don't know how the things would work. So again, an important point to mention here is, the rollover of the dollar forward. This stands for dollar forward contract by exporters due to any economic shocks, whose probability is much higher, much higher. I hope you understood how the scenario would be when FCNR would go via a redemption window. It's been pretty nice to have you here. And you're always welcome to contact us as Treasury Consulting LLP at the rate gmail.com, and also welcome to email us at rahulmagan8 at the rate gmail.com. Our contact number is 9899242978. Just for your information that we are a limited liability company. We are coming up our magazine very soon, 10-15 days, and a lot of things would change this time with the magazine. We are also coming up another magazine covering frauds and forensics, which we titled as the Fraudster, somewhere end of August. So a lot of things, the publication domain and the trainings domain would be having a lot of stress. In case you have any requirement of the training, you're welcome to contact us at 9899242978. Thank you and hope you enjoyed it. In case you have any queries, you have our contact number. Thank you for that.